Welcome back to Joy Recaps. Today I will show you a crime, thriller, horror film from 2016 entitled Don't Breathe. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. A young woman is being pulled by the hair by an elderly man through a street that appears to be in an abandoned neighborhood. A door from a posh house is unlocked by a group of young people, including two men and a woman. Before the alarm can sound, one of them turns it off. As they enter the house, the person who appears the most uneasy repeats their rules about not taking any cash and only taking items that are below 10 Gs. They enter and exit the house quickly. They reset the alarm before leaving and break the front door window, which causes the alarm to sound as they flee. Later, they are chatting and smoking marijuana while driving. The uneasy man begins relating to the other two the departure of another of their friends. They claim that nobody seems to care and that Detroit is abandoned. After the subsequent robbery, they themselves intended to depart for California with no intention of returning. The girl invites the anxious man to go with them, but he declines, saying he must stay with his father. They drop him off at his home, where he enters and immediately makes his way to his father's study. There he opens a drawer and gives the robber's key back. His father is a home security expert. The third man, identified only as Money, attempts to fence the items they took during the robbery, but is unsuccessful. He has a brief argument with the person who purchases his goods, but the other person advises him to steal Money instead if he wants money. He offers him advice on a new position. Money shares the details with his friends. It's a house belonging to a reclusive veteran that the nervous boy's father has secured, and it's in an abandoned area of the city. Money explains why they should rob it, because the other two don't seem to have much confidence after that. A rich girl allegedly ran over the vet's daughter, and the girl's family gave him a sizable settlement of at least $300,000. Compared to the anxious guy, Alex, the girl agrees to the idea much more readily. He's concerned about what taking such a large amount would mean for them and his dad's business. He moves on. Rocky, the girl, texts Alex later that day pleading with him to finish the job so she can let someone out. Rocky is at home with her mother's new boyfriend, and her younger sister while Alex researches the veterinarian. He's awful, and so is her mother. Rocky starts asking Alex if she wants to go to California with her, which makes it clear that the message she sent was about her sister. She wants to free her sister from the awful circumstances in their family. Alex, Rocky, and Money visit the vet's home and the surrounding area. Rocky and Alex stay in the car by themselves. Alex promises to accompany them to California once they finish the job after she tells him a tale from her youth. The moment a Rottweiler dog jumps at the girl's window, Money gets back in the car and confirms what they already knew about the house. Money informs them that the vet is calling for the dog when an elderly man answers. They discuss how unethical it would be to rob a blind man after realizing he is blind. They return to the neighborhood that evening. The vet's home has no lights on. The dog is first taken care of by being fed meat and a drug. They discover that the keys Alex had taken from his father's security company don't work when they attempt to open the front door. Only a tiny window that only Rocky can fit through is discovered when they search for a side door or window. She comes inside and uses a remote that Alex gives her to silence the alarm. On the mantel, she notices framed images of the deceased daughter of the vet. Alex and Money are currently waiting for her to let them inside. Once inside, they begin searching the home for the safe containing the money. Rocky peruses the wardrobe. The old vet is chloroformed on the upper floor with the help of Money so he won't wake up. He discovers him dozing off in his room while a video of his daughter as a young child is playing in the background. Money is able to turn off the gas even though the vet wakes up and turns off the TV. When he descends, the three of them discover a locked door and assume the money is hidden behind it. Money pulls a gun out and, presuming the vet is dozing, shoots the door's bolt. Fearful of the way a gun there will change things, Alex decides to leave. He goes after removing his shoes from the stack. Rocky and Money open the door, but the vet suddenly appears and knocks. The two of them pause, but he hears Money and begins to follow his voice as he makes an effort to deceive the elderly man before finally persuading him. He shoots at him once to frighten him, but it has no effect. Outside, Alex hears the gunshot. He is shot in the head by the vet after grabbing the gun from his hands. He is unaware that the girl is also present. In the closet, she hides, while avoiding the vet as he runs around the house bolting the doors and the windows. Alex enters the house and nearly bumps into him. While hiding in the restroom, he texts Rocky. She reveals her hiding place to him, and he follows her there. However, before Alex arrives, the vet enters the closet, removes a piece of the drywall to reveal the safe, enters his code, which is clearly visible to Rocky, and makes sure that all of the money is inside. He closes the safe after learning that it hasn't been taken and leaves, without realizing that Rocky is also in the closet. When Alex enters the closet, he advises that they call the police. Rocky is against it. To his surprise, she opens the safe and removes the money. There must be $1 million there, according to Alex. They make the decision to leave through the locked door because they believe it will take them through the basement to a hatch that opens to the yard. Before they could enter, the veterinarian bursts through the door from inside and starts dragging Money's body to a different room. After giving them a brief scare, he resumes his previous actions, giving them plenty of time to flee through the door, until he discovers their shoes a short while later. He is still unaware that they are present at this time. When he opens the safe to check on it, he discovers the money is missing. Rocky and Alex are currently exploring the basement. When they discover a girl bound with army cords, they are horrified. A ring attached to her alerts the vet that there is activity in the basement the moment she moves. Alex and Rocky learn there that the girl who ran over his daughter is the same one. Rocky makes the decision to assist her despite what she had done. They attempt to enter the basement hatch, but the vet is standing in front of it waiting for them and begins firing. He murders the woman who murdered his daughter. While holding the body of the dead girl, the vet calls to his baby while Alex and Rocky are running, informing him that his baby has passed away. After turning off the electricity, he goes on the hunt for them in the expansive basement. He almost manages to catch them and strangle Alex because they are both somewhat blinded, but the man manages to flee once more with Rocky. The Rottweiler, who is now fully awake, is waiting for them outside the basement. On the second floor, the dog pursues them and eventually catches them in one of the rooms. They appear to have no way out because the windows are locked. The vet is outside the room with his dog and a gun as he catches up to them. She notices a vent on the wall as Rocky and Alex search for a way out. He instructs her to enter while promising to keep the door secure. The elderly man and the dog break through the doors and start attacking Alex as she enters the vent. He tumbles out the window and lands on a lower-level celling window. The dog follows Rocky in the vent upon returning to the room and pursues her through the shaft. To get away from it, she leaps into a vertical shaft. Alex is thrown to the first floor when the vet shoots the window after realizing where he is. The room where Alex had hidden Money's body and where he keeps his gardening equipment is where Alex eventually catches up to him. He knocks Alex out and then stabs him with a pair of enormous gardening shears. In the shaft, Rocky awakens bleeding and in pain. When she notices two openings, one going down inside the house and the other outside, she begins crawling through the vents once more. The vet grabs her from the other side as she tries to open the bars at the door leading outside the house. Rocky awakens in the cellar. She is similarly restrained to the other girl. She begs the vet to let her leave and promises not to tell anyone about the girl while he is present. But he clarifies that he wasn't torturing or punishing the girl for what she had done to his daughter by keeping her in the basement. He had the insane notion that since she had taken his child away from him, it would only be fair if she returned the favor by giving him a child. She was carrying his child, so he had been holding her there. His irrational reasoning leads him to believe that Rocky is to blame for her passing and that she ought to be held accountable. In the interim, Alex awakens. The body of Money had done the stabbing, not the vet. He lures the dog inside and locks it up. He then opens the entranceway. The veterinarian is heating something up in the basement. He informs Rocky that she will now be required to bear his child in place of the girl's. He would only force his sperm on her because he is not a rapist. It has been revealed that he heated his sperm before injecting it into her. Fortunately, Alex enters the basement just in time to prevent the vet from being able to harm Rocky the way he intended. Rocky is set free after Alex chains the veteran and gives him several kicks, among other things. Rocky is advised by Alex to leave the vet chained up in the basement rather than calling the police right away. After taking the cash, the two of them head to the front door after leaving the basement. The vet, who managed to escape, shoots Alex as soon as he opens the door. Rocky begins to run outside in the daylight. Her pursuers are the veterinarian's Rottweiler. She eventually reaches Money's car after a protracted pursuit. However, when the dog closes in on her, she drops the bag containing the cash outside. Additionally, she discovers that she is keyless after getting into the vehicle. Rocky successfully traps the dog inside the car, but as soon as she exits and reaches for the bag, the vet snatches her up once more and begins dragging her toward his house by her hair. Rocky locates the alarm's remote when they arrive and sets it off. She is able to push the vet down into the basement after he becomes completely confused by the noise. As the police are pulling up to the house, she grabs the money, assuming he is dead, and flees. Rocky is seated in the airport bar with her younger sister. On RTV, she hears a newscaster discussing the events as they happened. The doctor had avoided falling. He omitted to mention either the fact that the money was missing or the fact that she was also a part of the robbery. Rocky has the freedom to live her best life in California with her sister.